For years, the golden rule of search visibility was simple. Write longer articles, but data from millions of AI-generated answers confirms that pure word count no longer matters. This system architecture shows how retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, actually operates. Instead of reading a narrative from top to bottom, the generative engine hunts for specific knowledge slices, pulling distinct facts into its summarizing model. If a direct answer is buried inside 3,000 words of context, it creates a bottleneck at the response model. The algorithm actively discards fluffy context to assemble a concise output. Writing long articles just to keep human readers scrolling actively prevents the machine from finding the facts it needs. As a result, traditional SEO articles are becoming invisible to the AI middleman. The absolute requirement for visibility now is a metric called semantic density. An AI system cannot easily extract a catchy slogan. It looks for a high concentration of specific entities, explicit conditions, and verifiable evidence packed tightly into a single claim. To achieve this concentration, creators have to abandon traditional narrative writing and adopt a practice known as structural feature engineering. Creators must engineer web content as a highly structured relational database to ensure large language models can instantly parse and trust the information. When an AI engine makes its first extraction pass, it evaluates the entire document's structural hierarchy before it even attempts to read a single paragraph. This requires an answer-first architecture. The core response to the user's query must be stated clearly within the first 60 words of the text. This framework diagram outlines the necessity of strict hierarchical depth. Features like structural regularity show that AI relies on self-contained H2 sections that can be parsed and cited entirely independently. If this macro structure is disorganized or buried under a long introvection, the engine will abandon the document, leaving the dense facts inside completely unread. Once the document passes that initial structural check, the AI drills down to the paragraph layer to evaluate fact density. This analysis panel demonstrates the machine's requirement, a cited statistic or data point every 150 words. Panning to the influence analysis score, we see why standardized codes and exact boundaries matter more than vague adjectives, letting the algorithm build reusable meaning units. Without these verifiable chunk data points acting as anchors, the model lacks the confidence required to generate a grounded, hallucination-free response. When multiple sources offer the same level of fact density, the final extraction phase comes down to the sentence level. Strategic visual emphasis acts as an algorithmic flair. Applying bold and italic formatting to key terms actively directs the machine's attention mechanism to the most relevant facts. Embedded structural metadata, like JSON, LD, and FAQ schema, further clarifies the text. This behind-the-scenes coding helps the AI resolve ambiguity between competing sources. This micro-level engineering provides the decisive edge, determining exactly whose data gets cited when two sources tie for relevance. The digital economy is shifting from a system fueled by clicks to a model prioritized by citations. This generated response illustrates the zero-click reality. A user reads the information and absorbs the brand's authority directly through these inline citations without ever visiting the source website. Because users aren't clicking through, tracking search engine rankings is becoming obsolete. The new standard for performance is position-adjusted word count, a metric that measures how prominently your data appears within the AI summary. Traditional website traffic is now a false positive. True market share is measured by how deeply your brand's data is embedded in the AI's synthesized answers. Over time, AI models develop source preference bias. Once a source consistently provides highly structured, reliable data, the algorithm defaults to using it for future queries. Businesses that cling to word count targets and keyword stuffing will watch their visibility crash to zero, while early adopters of structural density will see their citation rates compound exponentially. Survival in this search era requires building dense, structurally engineered knowledge slices that machines can extract without friction. Mastering generative engine optimization has become the foundational requirement for visibility in an AI-dominated ecosystem. Traditional SEO is dead. Citation equity is the new currency. If your traffic is flatlining, you have an extraction problem. Stop guessing. Run your pages through the AI search readiness audit at ConversionDoc, link in the description. See what the machine is actually discarding.